tell me when you...
Yep.
Okay. How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so my name is Lloyd McDonald, and I have a wonderful lady here. We have Nichola Burley, the famous Nichola Burley. How are you?
Nervous?
You're nervous? Why are you nervous? You shouldn't
I
really
don't
be
know.
nervous.
Okay.
So Nichola, I wanted to interview you. There's a lot about you on the internet. There's not a lot about you on the internet. So tell me a little bit about yourself. So you're an actress,
Yes.
aren't you? So tell me, when did you start? How old were you?
I was 16, just turning 17 when I started acting, and my first audition was my first film.
Wow, tell me a little bit about that. So what was the name of the film?
So the film's called Love and Hate, and it's directed by Dominic Savage,
Yeah.
cast by David Shaw from Beverly Hills, and it's about intimate relationships between the Asian and white community and the effects of that. So it was based primarily around an Asian girl and a white guy who genuinely loved each other. And I played obviously a white girl who fell in love with an older Asian guy, and it wasn't to be due to religion.
So tell me a little bit about that. So you're 16, you've got a main part, you know, in a film. How did you feel? Like, you were 16, so how did you feel like being on set, and like, did you just think, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm...
When I had the film, when I got it, I didn't realise the severity of everything. I just thought it was going to be a bit like pretend, and that it wasn't actually going to go to the cinemas or anything. I just didn't anticipate just the severity of it in general. And the first day on set, I remember the director was talking about the Russians coming, but I thought he said the Russians.
Okay.
And I was like, why? Because they're not in the film, it doesn't say Russians.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are we talking about? I said,
Yeah.
you're saying the Russians are coming, but it doesn't say the Russians in the script. He said, I'm saying the Russians.
Okay.
And he had to explain to me that was like the reels of film. And I just thought I could walk off of the unit base and go to the shops and come back whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
So I had to learn everything. Like, that when I was there, my time was theirs, and I didn't, even basic things like sound speed, camera rolling, I was just in my own world.
So were people like nice to you? Did you feel like you could ask any questions? I mean, I could just imagine it's just a whole new experience.
They were really nice, like really, really welcoming, and it was a huge learning curve, but the director in particular, now when I look back on how he works, I really appreciate it. The whole film was non-scripted. So the entire film, the entire film was improvised. So we had a basis of a scene, no lines whatsoever. So in order to get me to act without realising I was acting, he found out a lot about me as a person. And then he talked to me before each scene and say, so you remember the time you told me about this? Do you remember when you said so-and-so? Remember what it felt like? And he almost got me right back to that moment, and then he'd just go, we'll start.
That's amazing.
And then he did really subtle things that massively helped. And again, I didn't always realise at the time. He came out to my house before and met my parents and my sister. And then he asked if he could go to the toilet, and he went upstairs, and he was gone for a little while. And then we could hear, the footprints in the house. And I knew he'd gone into my bedroom. He was like, what's he doing? And then he decorated my bedroom in the film. Exactly like my bedroom at home.
That is amazing.
Because I had scenes in there where the dad came in and dragged her about.
And how did you feel like when the first film that you've ever done was on screen? Like, how does it feel like seeing yourself up there playing like...
Ridiculously exciting. I saw it first in... we had a premiere in London, and then the next time I saw it was at Dubai International Film Festival. So at that point I was 17, and I actually had my 18th birthday party at the film festival. So they flew us out to Dubai, which I'd never been to Dubai. That was amazing. And then you see all this sort of the grandeur of it all. So we went to this film party in the desert. And there's camels and a castle and musicians and fireworks, and it was all so that kind of set this huge standard. I thought every film was going to be like that, which obviously isn't the case. I was like, I want to go to Dubai again, that's why I want to act.
That is amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the film that I remember seeing you in, and that is Street Dance 3D. Oh my goodness, like, I love to dance, and I remember seeing that film because it was kind of like our version of like Step Up. So tell us a little bit about how you ended up in that, because That was huge.
That was huge. So
That was quite a big film.
That sold on 439 screens in England.
That's amazing.
It sold on more screens than Prince of Persia and Clash of the Titans, and it outsold them.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the script and them saying, we want a girl to play the lead in the first ever 3D dance film. And
I know.
British.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah. My agent said, when was the last time you street danced? And I was like, oh, last week. And they were like, no, when was the last time, Nick? Because we have a really good relationship. I said, last week.
Yeah.
And they said, you know, I'm going to send you. The first audition, I actually went into the toilets and phoned my partner and said, I'm going home. I was ready to walk out because I thought it would be actors, but the dancers far exceeded my abilities.
Yeah.
But luckily I stuck with it, and I did private training in between the auditions, and then ended up getting it, and that's when the hard work really started then.
So
it was
how
amazing.
was that? Because I know you have like Ashley Banjo in that film, you have George Sampson, and quite a lot of people that kind of gone on to do, you know, amazing things. So how was the whole process of making that film? Because you could see your character kind of, you know, blossom, and you probably were blossoming as you were doing.
That's true. So I was actually more like one of the ballet dancers in real life as opposed to the street dancers.
Yeah.
So I'd trained in contemporary and ballet from the age of 2, and I had to learn street dance, and I was really poor at it, to be honest. So I trained for a month, 2 weeks by myself, and that included performing in theatres, personal training, and then dance classes by myself, basically whatever the choreographer wanted me to do, and then a month with everyone else, and then we started filming. So it was intense. The dance rehearsals could be whatever they wanted them to be, 6 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and then we went into 3 months filming. So it was, but I loved every second. I always say, even if that film had no fee, I would have always done it.
Yeah. And then what was it like after that film came out for you? Because I could imagine you had to promote.
Oh yeah.
Like throughout the whole world.
Yeah. So my first press tour for that was in Ireland, then Canada, and then Beirut.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Wow.
But yeah, the press tours are really strange because you have to watch the film nearly every day, and that as amazing as it was, that becomes slightly odd because you start to watch it and analyse it more than you perhaps want to or need to. So I think it can become a bit unhealthy. But it was really nice meeting everyone and to see people face to face who are huge fans of it, and even to this day get fan mail saying this film changed my life, or you inspired me to dance, or walking around and someone goes now who's a young adult, I remember you as Carly, and you forget, but I had the same thing with Honey and Save the Last Dance and those films. I always watched Save the Last Dance and said, I want to be like that girl.
Wow.
Always. So that really did feel like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Completely. And a complete blessing to be able to do that. And I knew when I was doing it how thankful I was to have it.
That is great. Well, thank you. We will talk again, but appreciate you taking this time for me to speak to you. Thank you, Nichola. Thank you.